So, City of Lawrence Common Council, the meeting is now called to order. Today is Wednesday, February 16th, 2022, and it is now 6:41 p.m. Can everyone please stand for Pledge of Allegiance and prayer? I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Precious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, and we thank you for bringing us here together to gather and discuss the matters of our city. Lord, I pray that you just touch each and every one of us, and I pray that you just help us use wisdom, and I pray that you just help us continue to make good decisions and just touch our public safety and the workers that are out there every day and night, and just continue to keep your hands upon our city as we move forward. In your precious heavenly name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, next on the agenda, we have comments of council members and special recognition or resolutions. Do we have any? Seeing none?
I'm sorry, Madam President.
Yes, Councilor Wells.
I'm sorry. I did want to acknowledge my appreciation to Scott Salisbury and to Deputy Controller Humphrey. They did respond to my questions of the last month's meeting about the construction work that was being done on Richard for it being the storm sewers, being the repairs or the remodeling done for that. And also, I'd like to give a special thanks to, once again, to Deputy Controller Humphrey for reaching out to me and going over the proposal that they've just made and answering a bunch of my questions, and I certainly appreciated that. So once again, thanks to Mr. Humphrey.
Thank you, Councilor Wells. Any other councilors? Okay, seeing none. Next on the agenda is signing of vouchers, approval of claims, and authorization of payment. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Councilor Wells. Second, Councilor Denny. Any discussion? Seeing none. Roll call vote. Councilor Chevlot.
Sorry, yes.
Councilor Denny.
Yes.
Councilor Giles.
Yes.
Councilor Russell.
Yes.
Councilor Wells, and you must
Yes.
be, you have to go on video, Councilor Wells.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Just while you cast your vote.
I pushed the button by mistake. Yes.
Councilor Rusamorov.
Yes.
Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Councilor Freeman.
Yes.
Councilor Chavis. Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Next on the agenda, we have unfinished business. Bear with Kathy and I, we have a lot. Resolution number 2021. You're on mute, Kathy.
Forgot the video, forgot the mute. Resolution number 2021, introduced by Councilor Denny, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, providing funding to the Inspire program.
So Councilor Denning has informed me of his intention to withdraw. Do you concur with that, Councilor Denning?
Yes, I'd like to withdraw until after we've further discussed the process.
Okay, thank you. Resolution number 21, 2021.
Resolution number 21, 2021, introduced by Councilor Denny, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, providing funding to the Laundry and More program.
President Chave, is the same with number 21. I'd like to withdraw until we've discussed the process.
Thank you, Councilor Denny. Resolution number 22, 2021.
Resolution number 22, 2021, introduced by Councilors Russell Moroff and Wells, a resolution providing funding to the Action Club of the Kiwanis Club of Lawrence.
Madam President,
Yes, Councilor Rusamora.
I would also like to withdraw that resolution in agreement with Councilor Wells, if possible. Thank you.
Councilor Wells?
Yes, that would be fine for now.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have resolution number 1, 2022.
Resolution number 1, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chavis, a resolution to adopt procedures for awarding community service grants for the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana.
Okay, that has been assigned to the committee as a whole, and we will be meeting immediately following our full council meeting. Next, we have resolution number 2, 2022.
Resolution number 2, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chavis, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, governing retention of Bose, McKinney, and Evans, LLP as legal counsel.
Madam Chair, the Finance Committee meeting met tonight and recommended that to the full council for approval.
Okay, so you're making a motion, Councilor Denny?
I will. I'll make a motion that we approve resolution number 2.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
May I second, please?
Motion, Councilor Denny, second, Councilor Rusamora. Councilor Denny, can you just give an overview really quick for discussion?
Chris updated us, our legal counsel, on what the Bose, McKinney, and Evans contract would look like. It's exactly the same contract we've had for the last 2 or 3 years. She said that we have gone over budget in total of those accumulated years, roughly in the range of $30,000. So going forward, if we have any special projects, they will be billed separately, which is already part of the contract. It's just putting us on notice that we need to be more conscious and cognizant of what we send to her as work. But the contract as it is has been the same for the last couple of years.
Okay, what other discussion? Okay, seeing none, we have a motion and a second. Roll call vote. Councilor Chevlot?
Yes.
Councilor Denny?
Yes.
Councilor Giles?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
Yes.
Councilor Russell?
Oh, yes.
Councilor Wells?
Yes,
Councilor Rusamoroff?
Yes.
Councilor Whitfield?
Yes.
Councilor Freeman?
Yes.
Councilor Chavis? Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Congratulations and thank you for your willingness to serve this council another year.
It's been great. Thank you, Madam President.
You're
Thank you, Council.
Resolution number 3, 2022.
Resolution number 3, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chevlot, a resolution approving the sale of property owned by the Lawrence Redevelopment Commission.
Okay, that has been assigned to Economic Development, and we will be meeting on next Wednesday, a week from today, at 6:00 p.m., the Economic Development Committee, via Zoom, and we will hear this matter at that time. Kathy will be sending out the Zoom link in the next day or so. Okay?
Yeah, probably tomorrow.
All right. Next, we have proposal number 2, 2022.
Proposal number 2, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chevlot, a proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending the 2022 civil salary ordinance.
Okay, that's assigned to finance, and they did discuss that tonight, and they will continue discussion on that at their next meeting, which Counselor Denning, is that going to be March 7th prior to the council meeting?
Right before the next council meeting, correct?
Okay. All right. So tentatively March 7th at 5:30, but you will get the confirmation from our clerk.
Absolutely.
Proposal number 3, 2022.
Proposal number 3, 2022, introduced by Councilor Shevlot, a proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending the 2022 salary ordinance for appointed officers and employees of the police and fire department.
Same disposition, still in finance, and there will be further discussion on March 7th. Next, we have proposal number 4, 2022.
Proposal number 4, 2022, introduced by Councilor Shevlot, a proposal for an ordinance to appropriate from the ARP Coronavirus Local Fiscal Recovery Fund for purposes that fulfill the intent of the American Rescue Plan Act.
Okay, that remains in finance as well, and they will continue discussion on March 7th at 5:30. Next, we have new business, proposal number 5, 2022.
We need to do
We need to do
resolution.
4.
We need a resolution.
Resolution.
Still on unfinished business.
Okay, as I was, resolution number 4, 2022.
Resolution number 4, 2022, introduced by Councilor Shevlot, a resolution to adopt a spending plan detailing the use of funding provided under the American Rescue Plan.
Okay, that remains in council, in finance as well. It'll be heard on March 7th at 5:30. Thank you for that. I told you we had a lot. New business, proposal number 5, 2022.
Proposal number 5, 2022, introduced by Councilor Russell, a proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, appropriating additional funds and amending the 2022 budget with respect to the general fund.
So that will be assigned to finance. Next, we have proposal number 6, 2022.
Proposal number 6, 2022, introduced by Councilor Denny, a proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending proposal number 16, 2021 regarding the rainy day fund transfer.
Okay, that will be assigned to finance as well. Resolution number 5, 2022. And Kathy, I would like you to read that by title, but also in the resolution number 5, I would just like for you to maybe make note of a few recommended items that are in the resolution as we recognize Black History Month.
Resolution number 5, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chavis, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, recognizing Black History Month. Exhibit A, it has different things that you could do during the month. Watch a movie or documentary, celebrate. There's going to be a celebration at the Starrett Center on the 24th at 6:30. Also go to the Indiana History Center to see the latest You Are There exhibit. Take a free online implicit association test by Project Implicit. View the works of...
Thank you, Kathy. And there are some more things that are in Exhibit A there for your reference, and those are some that Kathy pointed out that, are happening here in our community with the Black History Month celebration, as well as some things that you can do in recognition and celebration of Black History Month. So I would like to make a motion that we approve resolution number 5, 2022, in recognition of Black History Month. I've motioned. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Counselor Denny. Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call vote. Counselor Chevlot.
Yes.
Counselor Denny.
Yes.
Counselor Giles.
Yes.
Counselor Russell.
Yes.
Counselor Wells.
Yes.
Counselor Rusamora.
Yes.
Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Counselor Freeman.
Yes.
Counselor Chavis. Yes. Motion carries unanimous. Next, we have proposal number 7, 2022.
Proposal number 7, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chavis, a proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending the municipal code of the City of Lawrence, Indiana regarding employee benefits and overtime.
Okay, that will be assigned to finance. Next, we have proposal number 8, 2022.
Proposal number 8, 2022, introduced by Councilor Chavis, a proposal for an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, amending the ordinance fixing salaries of appointed officers and employees of the police department and the fire department for the year 2022.
That will be assigned to finance as well.
Madam President, and I just wanted to throw a reminder in that we had a late addition to the new business. Okay.
Yep, I got it right here. I'm pulling it up on my phone. Thank you. And the ad is resolution number 6, 2022.
Resolution number 6, 2022, introduced by Councilor Denny, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Lawrence, Indiana, approving the Baker Tilly Municipal Advisors LLC contracts for accounting services.
So and I'm going to let Councilor Denny speak on this as well as the finance chair. But as you all know, Baker Tilly did a lot of work for us for the budget last year. And that agreement that we had with them, I believe it ended in December, like maybe December 7th timeframe. So they did their due diligence, and they sent us an agreement for this year. And so that's what this is. So it's just now really getting on the agenda. But I will take the responsibility for the fact that I have not acted on it. So I wanted to make sure that we get that on there now that I realize that, yes, I have had it. And so that's why it was added to the agenda. So I just wanted to put that on the record and explain that. Councilor Denny, you sponsored this. Did you have anything else to add? Because I know that we've already been, or Councilor Denny as the finance chair has already been in discussions with Baker Tilly about, preparing for 2022 budget year. We want to practice what we preach. And so that we're doing that, we need to make sure that we have that agreement in place as we have asked the administration to do in the past. So I want to make sure that we're compliant and we're doing what we're doing our part. So Councilor Denny, did you have anything to add on that?
I think you hit all the major points at the top level. This did go back to December, and the documents are dated from December when the discussions began. We're basically, as you said, engaging Baker Tilly to help us with a cash flow plan, and going a little bit deeper this year in when we develop 23, as far as helping to do cash flow modeling for further years out. what, with the road fund and what other sources of income might be available to us. They're just really going to go a deeper dive into what we got into 22, but we're extending the contract from the review they did for us in 21 for the 22 budget into 23 and 24.
Okay.
And I'd add one thing that we're considering maybe perhaps a 5-year plan with our cash flow analysis, capital analysis, what it'll look like if Fort Harrison, becomes part of the city and those bonds and that revenue gets absorbed back into the city budget. Really a total look at all the financial components of the city.
Okay, so let's we've been running this meeting pretty efficiently for as much as been on the agenda tonight, but I do know that we are already in communication with Baker Tilly, okay? So I would prefer that we take the time. You have the documents in front of you. We are in open discussion. This is an existing relationship that Councilor Denning is making the recommendation that we continue that relationship into 2022. So pull up your document. Excuse me, Mr. Cox, you need to go on mute. Thank you. Pull up your documents. And let's open it up for discussion. I believe that it's Councilor Denning's intent to make a motion to approve it. I'm not making it for him, but he has expressed to me that he would like to do that because he's already, having conversations with Baker Tilly.
Madam President,
Yes.
are you asking, or is Councilor Denny asking for suspension of the rules?
So we haven't gotten there yet. So
Okay.
Councilor Denning, thank you, Councilor Chevlot. Councilor
This
Denning.
is a resolution.
Yeah, it's a resolution.
Yeah,
You don't-
it's a resolution. It's not an ordinance or proposal, so we can actually pass it on first reading without suspension of rules. Thank you. So let's open it up for discussion. And Councilor Denny, did you want to make that motion or?
Yes, I would like to make that motion tonight so we can begin working with Baker Tilly and they'll be prepared. Obviously, if we begin here in mid-February, we're going to begin our first meetings in April, late March, beginning of April with this process. So this gets the ball rolling. Just with the new year and us being in Zoom in January, like you said, this just got into February and not earlier.
Okay, so there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second it.
Okay, we have a motion, Councilor Denny, second, Councilor Wells. Discussion.
Madam President,
Yes, Councilor Chevlot.
given this was just dropped on us today, I would ask that this go through a committee like everything else so we can get a better understanding about the kind of money we're going to spend. If I go back to last fall when we spent $10,000 with them to do a presentation, that presentation contained a lot of assumptions which turned out to be inaccurate with respect to budgeting, with respect to future revenues. And so it just seems to me if we're going to spend this kind of money that we ought to, as a council and spending taxpayer dollars, to maybe look at this a little bit more closely to get a better understanding of the comprehensive view about what exactly are they going to be doing in which departments and what are the expectations that we have a council have on them. So I would just respectfully ask that this get put into finance so that there's an opportunity to be able to have Baker Tilly come forward and kind of share with them how they intend to serve the council. Plus the fact, if it's a contract, the council can't engage in a contract. We don't have the authority to do that. So I just think there's a lot of unanswered questions for me, given I just saw this today.
Yeah,
Madam-
okay,
Madam
thank you.
President.
So we do have, this is a resolution. We do have a motion. We do have a second. So I'm going to allow for further discussion. So let's go ahead and have whatever thank you for your comments, Councilor Shevlin.
Thank you.
Madam President,
Yes, Councilor Giles.
just for clarity's sake, I'd like to ask our attorney about the statement that the Councilor Chevlot made is regarding, do we have the authority to enter into in a contract to hire a service?
Madam President, would you like me to answer?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I don't believe that's true. I wouldn't have put one before you if I didn't think you had the authority to approve it.
Well, and we approved the contract for them last year.
Right.
And we approved your contract, and we approved the zoning contract. So we certainly have the authority to approve the contract. Let's just, thank you for putting that on the record. And my understanding is that Baker Tilly is I don't know, Councilor Chevlot, and we're not going to get into a debate about it, but my understanding is that actually the administration is seeking their services as well. So I'm not sure how. I think that the work they did was noticed and well respected, and they're a well respected firm.
Yeah, I can't speak to that, Madam President. I guess maybe let me just clarify. The council doesn't have the legal authority to sign contracts. The only contract that we can sign is between us and our legal counsel. So I apologize. I needed to clarify that. So any agreement that the city enters into or the council, the only contracts that we can agree to is between us and our legal counsel. But any other outside counsel, I believe, the administration has to sign off on that. But it's kind of semantics. But I apologize. I should have clarified that.
No worries.
All good.
Thank you. Any other counselors for discussion?
Madam President,
Yes, Councilor Ruth-Moore.
this is just a question. I can understand Councilor Chevlot's concerns, although I also would agree that the faster we get to what we need to do, given that the year is kind of getting away from us already, is important. And so my question is, are we in the, I think we're still in our council meeting rather than our committee of the whole, correct?
Absolutely.
So could this be presented to the council as a whole this evening? And maybe that will help expedite, but yet still allow some discussion? Or is that may be a kind of a dumb question? It's just something to throw out and consider.
Well, right now, we've got a motion and a second, guys. So we've got a motion and a second on the floor. So unless Councilor Denning is going to withdraw his motion, we have a motion and a second.
And Madam Chair, if you don't mind, I could add a couple clarifying points, I think, once I opened it up here. Just looking at some of the language, the purpose of this is really to avoid and utilize Baker Tilly with some responses that would help clarify and keep us all in a very positive debate posture, if you will, going into the next budget season. Baker Tilly is going to recommend some minimum fund balances to be maintained in some of our funds, develop estimated financial information for all of our major operating funds as recommendations, and then analyze some of that historical financial information. And as you stated, they have already been working with or engaged in, I don't want to use the word engage, but they have an upcoming meeting with the administration. So the administration was interested in these services as well. But I think it's important that we utilize Baker Tilly and be ready with those responses moving forward, because the budget process will creep up to us very quickly, particularly given the amount of resolutions you just assigned to the Finance Committee. We have a tremendous amount of work to do in addition to the budget process. And so we really do, I would recommend that we use Baker Tilly because we'll need the recommendations and the reports they come back with.
Yes, Councilor Russell, I think you're trying to say something.
Thank you. No, my only question with that is, when we're trying to look at budget and I like looking at how like spending money and budgetary, sorry, my screen is completely messed up right now. I'm so sorry. There we go. My question for this, and I understand there's a first and a second, is just to make my sentiments known is if we were having concerns in regards to like spending money in the fall, and just budgetary and just like looking on how to spend money, I just personally feel that it's at least, it's good of us to do the checks and balances and to just at least, I know we're discussing it right now, but I usually for example, when my husband and I have a conversation at home and he's at work and we don't have a chance to actually think about it and sit and talk about it, we need to have a conversation and get a chance, especially in an argument, like we need to have a chance to talk and think through our thoughts and come up with questions. Because on the spot, if I got this an hour ago, I don't know the questions to ask. But looking at it, like maybe if we get a chance to put, like if we could continue to further have questions and I can get my questions answered off record and from you, Councilor Denny, or you, Madam President, just any of my own questions that may come up in regards to this contract, how we can save money moving forward, what are some things that they can do, then we can maybe vote on this on the first of the month next month. I understand there's a first and a second. I just have to let those sentiments be known just because we are spending taxpayer dollars. I feel like with we're using a certain amount of money, it's just good to have people to advocate for that. That's all.
Thank you. Any other counselors have comment? Councilor Whitfield.
Thank you, Madam President and fellow councils members. I just want to bring to conversation that we've worked with this company last year, and we know the product that they presented to us. We know that the budget is days are creeping up on us, and being with the Finance Committee, there is a lot of work, not only there but in other committees. And I just think that the trust and the engagement that we've already solidified with them last year, I don't think that our legal would send something forward if it wasn't an opportunity for us to move forward. And looking at this, it doesn't seem like there's any increase according to what we did last year. So I would strongly recommend that we consider moving forward with this recommendation. We have a motion and a second on the floor.
Thank you, Councilor Whitfield. Any other counselors?
Yes, Madam Chair. This is
Yes,
Councilor
Councilor
Giles. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that we've had discussion when Baker Tilly was here before, and amongst in finance meetings in the past, that we were going to engage them to get more involved in our budget process in the future. Also, I agree with Councilor Lauren when she speaks on using the language of checks and balances. One of the reasons I support bringing Baker and Tilly in is because it brings checks and balances into our entire city financial system. And just as Councilor Chevlot said, he has an opinion that their work was inaccurate. Well, this gives us an opportunity to now have two financial people looking at our city so that we can come up together as counselors to make a more informed decision so that we can make sure that we don't follow any direction from anyone that could be deemed inaccurate. Thank you. I support this initiative and look forward to voting for it. Resolution.
Thank you. Any other counselors? We're still in discussion. And I would say that just for clarity of the record, you know, we certainly have and do pass things, resolutions on first reading. We don't do it often, but we certainly have done it, and we can do it. So we do that. I don't think that I would feel comfortable passing this on first reading had we not had an existing relationship. This is basically a continued relationship. We started it last year. And, you know, I guess everyone has varying opinions about the work product, but the council, with the motion and the second, will make the determination as to whether or not the relationship will continue. Really no different than what we just did when we approved our council attorney's resolution to stay on board as our attorney. We passed that on first reading as well because we have an existing relationship and the terms of the contract did not change in terms of the dollar amount. So it's really no different, in my opinion, in my opinion. I will leave this open for discussion as long as we need to discuss it. So if you see anything that gives you pause, or if you have any questions, ask them. So we're still in discussion. Okay, I don't see any more counselors that would like to discuss this further. We have a motion. Counselor Denny, we have a second. Counselor Wells, roll call vote. Counselor Chevlot,
No.
Counselor Denny,
Yes.
Counselor Giles,
Yes.
Counselor Russell,
No.
Counselor Wells,
Yes.
Counselor Russo-Moroff,
Yes.
Counselor Whitfield,
Yes.
Counselor Freeman,
Yes.
Counselor Chavis, yes. Motion carries 7-2. All right, we are adjourned.